What's up, everybody? This is Steve Scarlacci. Today, we are looking at a brand new amp from Supro that might actually be the perfect amp for somebody like me. I'm the type of person that loves vintage, old combo amps, but I also spend 99% of my time as a guitar player plugging in direct. And previously, no other real vintage voice options like this have ever been offered. And we're looking at this Airwave from Supro. I want to give a big thank you to Supro for sending this out for a preview and demo for your launch day release. Go check out all of the links below, and let's get to it. Brand new to the market. It's one of the old 50s style Supro amps, those old Valco amps that everybody loves. They are just the best recording amps. They sit so well in a mix. It'll be loud enough to cut through with a band. And what makes it really unique is that it has the 2Notes Dyne IR cab simulation built right into the amp. Another side note, I've been a 2Notes supporter and lover for as long as they came out. I've got a Captor X that I use all the time. I think that they are some of the best pieces of gear that you could use for recording guitar, especially if you don't have the means to be miking up and doing it in a professional studio. What they do is they give you a professional studio in their software, and it sounds really great. So I've got a Class A power section, just the classic old Valco sound. They have a custom voiced speaker in here, which you can turn on and off. There's a very convenient switch in the back. In the room, it sounds great. It sounds like it's supposed to. It kind of reminds me of an old Jensen type of speaker, something that, works really well for this type of amp. I actually have two old Valco amps on the floor over here, made by different brands from the 50s, and they're my favorite amps to actually lug around and play as combos, but I never get a chance to really turn them up or mic them up. This gives me that solution perfectly. You have 6 onboard slots for cabinet sections, but not only do you have 6, you actually have 12, because when you tap group A and B, you'll see this color change. So you actually have 12 cabinet sections right there. You also have this pre and post mode, which will choose where you put the 2Notes software. So pre means it's before the power amp section, so you're going from preamp right into 2Notes. And then post is where you're getting the power amp section of the amp, so you're getting the full tube goodness that I think you want. I'll mess with it in both, but I'm pretty sure that post is going to be where I live. So I've got a screen capture up here of the 2Notes software, and here you see that we're in a literal studio. So all of the stuff you have access to, you have enhancers, EQ, reverb, microphone choices. Look at all the microphone choices, and you can actually move these in real space here, or in, I guess, fake space, in digital space, by selecting which mic you're on. You can put it behind, you can put it in front, and you can basically do whatever you want with the studio here. This is one of my favorite features, that they have all these great presets, and you can actually change the entire environment that you're set up in. And you can go and spend hours and hours messing with these because there's so many great options. The cabinets that are on board are all Supro designed and made. They made these all at the Hit Factory in New York City. I have a ton of 2Notes gear, admittedly. I've bought a lot of their stuff, but we'll focus on the stuff that comes with. You have your 6 presets here. If I just scroll through, you'll see as I turn the knob, this is happening in real time. So now we're on this Amulet 1x10 Delgate. And you'll also maybe notice that these are beta, because obviously today's launch day for the amp. So the graphics aren't totally updated yet, but they will be by the time you get yours. And then if I go to group B, you'll see I get a whole new separate set of cabinets, studios, and all of that stuff. So let's take a quick look around the settings. We've got a volume knob here. You've got an FET boost here, a drive channel, treble, mids, bass. You got a spring reverb. You also have a tube tremolo and a master volume. When I'm plugging in direct, I keep the master volume all the way up, but that's really useful if you're playing in the room with the amp. And yeah, it's straightforward. It's got a drive channel and a boost. There's nothing else that you need. This is a perfect all-in-one type of amp. It can go direct. It can be mic'd up. It's the last amp you'll ever need. So let's plug it in and see what we got. I am playing through my D'Angelico USA Pro Series that I've had for a very long time, and it's one of my favorite guitars. So let's see what we've got. Nice tremolo. I mean, just classic vintage type of sounds. That I hit that with the boost in the front end to give you a little bit of an idea of what that could do. The controls are really interesting because they're actually quite quite useful in that it's not like a typical pot where it's like there's two little areas where it's useful. So you can hear you have a lot of usable bandwidth there. And even cranked all the way up, that doesn't get too bright. Check out the mids. Mids, you got a lot of room on. I tend to like the bass on the low side, especially with these amps. Their whole vibe is that really awesome mid-range that these amps are kind of known for. Let's see how crazy this reverb can get. That's just a great vintage sound. Let's now go to the drive channel and let's see what we can do here. Okay, we don't need the trem and reverb anymore, so let's... Oh, I could already tell I'm going to like this. Just that awesome, perfectly focused and tuned mid-range. I really like that. Do I even need to touch these settings? I'm kind of having fun. That is sweet. Let's just keep that there and let's try a different vintage Thunderbolt 115. Let's see what kind of sounds we can get out of these other ones. Let's go with the Airwave 112 and try this out. And you'll also notice that because we're in stereo, we have access to using this twin tracker where you're hearing I guess a little bit of a delay on one side to get that twin tracking feel. If you're in stereo with headphones, you'll hear what I'm talking about. So let's try turning that off. This is just raw amp sound. I mean, that's just that vintage. Let's turn some of the gain down. Let's max out the gain, shall we? That sounds like a small vintage amp about to explode. That is sick. And now I can even hit that with the boost. Don't even need a fuzz pedal. Let's go back to that 8-inch speaker and just explode this. Here's the 8-inch speaker, the Phil X. Let's turn off the twin tracker again. Don't even need a fuzz pedal. Roll the tone knob up. So let's find a go-to sound for me. That's the volume maxed out on the clean channel. I like that. Reverb's too much, I think, but... Also turning off the reverb in the two notes so we have it on here. Yeah, I think I like that sound best. Put a pedal board in front of that. Hit that with the boost now, which all are foot switchable. And just go right to the drive channel with these settings. Boost off. So you have a full gig setup right there, between the nice clean edge of breakup. You have your solo boost there. Have a drive channel with a solo boost. And you have foot switchable tremolo and reverb. You really have everything that you need built right here. You like that, the spring reverb? You hear that? That's how you know it's legit. And I know I'm not mic'd up here, but we can switch this on. Turn that master way down. Now the speaker's on in the room. So even while you're recording, you can still get some feedback. And still get a good feedback sound while recording direct. It's just an awesome setup. All right, so that is a look at the new Supro Airwave. You can get yours at the links below. This thing is kind of an ideal amp for somebody like me. If you're into that edge of breakup, vintage, old tube amp sound, this is it. It's got built-in effects, solo boosting, reverb, tremolo. Man, it's hard to beat. You can go in direct. You could just leave your speaker on stage and go direct to front of house via the XLR outs. You can't beat stuff like this, man. And I'm really glad that now more amp companies are doing this vintage voiced. I think this is the first real vintage voiced tailored toward the clean edge of breakup crowd that Two Notes has partnered with. So I'm really excited about that. But yeah, ask any questions you may have below. And if you made it this far, thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one.